Hi, everybody. Welcome to my Tuesday under 5 minute devotion where I come and share with you for just a few minutes. So appreciate you being along for the ride with me here today. Let me do a little show and tell here. I have a bunch of stuff on the wall in my office here. There's a lot to look at. People have said, but there's a couple of things I'm usually not into. Things with like sayings like live, laugh, love, or whatever. That's not my deal really. But there's a couple things. Let me show you this one I often refer to. It says, live up to the light thou hast, and more will be granted thee. Carolyn Fox, who was a Quaker, 1800s. And then the other one that I often look at here from Saint Benedict of Nursia, says, listen and attend with the ear of your heart. And that's the beginning of the rule of Saint Benedict, where he's teaching his followers, and he invites them to listen, but with the ear of their heart. And I find that to be a very compelling thing that Benedict says, to listen with the ear of your heart. And think about, all of us listen. If we have functioning ears, we're listening all of the time. And some things we hear, some things we don't. Our mind learns to separate things as we listen, and so we focus in on some and others not. But it's one thing to listen for information, but it's another thing to listen with the ear of your heart. And so Benedict is inviting his people to listen in a deeper way. I think about people I've known through the years who listen to me and really listen to me. It's one thing to I'm sharing just something as I am now, and okay, yeah, what did he say? Oh, blah, 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 yeah, that's fine. But it's also to really listen. And I think about my mom who was able to hear me in a deeper way, and of course, because she knew me my whole life and she carried me in her womb and all of that. But I would think about sometimes she would have the ability to really hear what was going on. And my mom passed away in 2001 or 2000. I've lost track now. But I had a dream a few years ago where something had happened. And then in the dream, I go to my mom, and my mom's able to interpret it because she was able to listen to me and understood me. I think about spiritual directors I had through the years that when I would go and talk with them, and I knew I was really, really being heard. And it was more than just, oh, what's going on? But they were really listening to what I had to say. There's this verse here let me pull it up to you, from Matthew. And in it's after Jesus has shared some parables, and there's some explanation of why he shares parables, and do the people really hear the parable or not? And then it's this quote from Isaiah, and so it's a little confusing whether it's Jesus still speaking or if it's Matthew providing interpretation, I think, of what Jesus is saying. But it quotes from this thing from Isaiah, and it's this: for the people's senses have become calloused, and they've become hard of hearing, and they've shut their eyes so that they won't see with their eyes, or hear with their ears, or understand with their minds, and change their hearts and lives, that I may heal them. And so there's this lament here that the people really aren't listening. I invite you today to listen and attend with the ear of your heart. Listen to the people around you. Listen to what's really happening in your life. Frederick Buechner often had this quote about listen to your life. Listen for the voice of the Spirit of God, which I believe if we listen deep enough and we listen as a part of God's community, we can hear. And listen more than just what goes in your eardrum and into your brainwaves, but listen with the ear of your heart, and see what might be said to you today if you would open your heart and listen. So I invite you today to do that. Go and open your ears, but also open the ears of your heart and truly listen. All right, thanks for being with me. Peace to you all today. Bye-bye.